we are recording. Hello, my name's Joe Allen. I'm an independent creative and I've recently just left my job at a large corporate company to go and do things my own way with my own company. This is literally day one. Today I'm going to take you through the process of setting up my new workspace. This video is going to act as two things really. I mean, one, it's just a way of telling me the journey that I've made and a way that I can look back and see how I've developed and how things have gone. But also because I enjoy, as geeky as it sounds, I enjoy watching other people set up their desks and how people's workspaces are different, especially in the creative industry. So I feel like it's something that I want to share as well. If you want to stay up to date with everything else that I carry on in my journey, then subscribe to my channel, follow me across all social networks, and of course stay up to date with my blog. It's going to be a very geeky video, but of course it is. I'm setting up a desk. I suppose I better get started, really. This is the area where my desk gonna be. So I want to make sure that I've got all of my power readily available, and then I bring in the side parts of my desk, get all those cabled and organised, put the top level on, then bring in the desktop. After that I will be neating it up and cable tying it. So I'm going to be using white cable ties and black cable ties, depending if it's a white or a black cable, obviously. If it's a grey one, no, I'm not going to be merging them together. So I used to work at Apple. A lot of what we did in the stores was the visual merchandising and cabling things together. This is exactly the same as what they use in the stores, and they were so good that I went and found them online and bought myself a pair. I also got these CableDrop minis, little things that I'll stick probably to the back or maybe the top of the worktop. Can't remember how much I paid for them, but you can get them pretty easily on Amazon. Also from Bluelounge, got these cable clips. I've not actually used these before, so I'll find out if I've got a use for them as I set up. These are the side bits to my desk. My desk itself is actually about 8 years old, and it was all originally bought from IKEA. The Vika Ulrich, I think they are. They're about £30 each. You just get two, and then a worktop. Plenty of storage space. You sit in drives and things like that, and you've got cabling. You can all come round, and it's just a bit nicer than a standard table leg. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up the drives and anything that I want sat on here, just because it's a lot easier to maneuver around if you haven't got the top on, so you can like actually cable tie things. Look, I've got two drives that I'm using mainly. So this is a G-Tech G-Raid 2TB version. I've had this for a few years now. Absolutely solid, so reliable. Generally only ever buy G-Tech now. I've been through various different makes of hard drive, and G-Tech are just solid build quality, reliable, super fast. Second to that, this is the G-Tech G-Dot, like a little hub, I guess, that you would plug in portable drives. So it takes these little drives. These drives are 1 TB each, and I've got 4 of them. Individually, these can be powered just by USB 3. This dock is then connected as Thunderbolt, so it's a much faster transfer rate. If I'm doing anything on the fly whilst I'm out, I can just bung it into one of these drives, super fast. I then come home, pop them into the dock, and then I've instantly got a pretty fast scratch disk, really. You can check out one of my blog posts. I got an amazing discount on it. This will be plugged in over Thunderbolt to the back of the iMac, and then from here I've got a second Thunderbolt that will daisy chain into the previous G-Raid, and then the two drives will run off each other. I may plug in more FireWire drives into the G-Raid, just continually chain them all along, and it will just be one connection to the back of the iMac. I've also got these set of speakers, Bose Companion 3 Mark II. Comes with this a bass unit and then 2 satellite speakers that will sit on my desk quite nicely just underneath the iMac screen. For their size, they're pretty good speakers. They've got a nice control pod as well that sits on the desk, so you can plug in headphones directly into that, or you can just control your volume in one tap, on and off, which is quite cool. So rather than waffle along talking about equipment and how I'm going to cable tie everything, this is just everything being plugged in for the speakers. So we've got the 2 satellite speakers, the control pod, and then the bass unit at the bottom. So for this power strip I've got 5 things plugged in already. So I've got the Bose speakers, the G-Raid 2 TB, and then the G-Dock power lead. On the end we've got the iMac, and then just next to it we've got the Apple Cinema display. As you can see, it's looking pretty messy. I've just done the first one for the Bose speaker, and you can see I've left the cable ties on, and then all that's left to do now is just use these. Let's get them on. Snip it, takes it off, nice like that. I've just cable tied the two drive power leads together, and obviously I'm going to need to know which one's which. Before I actually put them together, I put a little white cable tie on the G-Dock one. At the other end we've got the white. You can easily differentiate which one's which without having to undo all of your cable ties. So everything is now completely in place. We've got everything down here plugged in, cable tied, running up here, various things going through the Velcro around the front. Ooh. So I've actually got the other two drives in place now. They're both Western Digital MyBooks. One's 500 gig, the other's 320, so they're not that big. So I'm halfway through doing the desk. It's gone quite dark in here, so I've just got this lamp shining on my face. If anything, it just shows how long this is taking. So it's having a bit of a tea break. Most of the hard work has now been done. Everything's all fully cable tied, ready to go. And what I'm going to do now is just bring the top, put the top on, bring all the cables up, all the things, and then that will lead me to then bring my Mac, put it all on, have a nice clear workspace. So I'm going to go get the top. So again, this is just from IKEA. This is a standard desk worktop. It's always nice to give everything a good clean before you do it. So this is just some Pledge Dust and Protect, which makes the wood nice and shiny and repels any dust that lands for a good clean surface. This is the iMac. It's a 27-inch i7. I forget what the exact spec is. It's got 24 gigabytes of RAM, a Fusion 3TB drive. I love it. It's a beauty. It's a bit hard carrying it though, because these edges are so thin that it's pretty sharp. And this is the 23-inch Cinema Display HD. It's pretty old, but it's still an amazing display. And this will just sit to the side, kind of like that. Setting up the dock on the desk itself, got quite a short cable, but it's close enough to reach. And then keyboard, mouse, and I actually use a trackpad occasionally, so that just sits there on the desk. And then a nice lamp to keep everything bright. Again, give everything a good clean. This kind of sets everything else up nicely for the very beginning. I'm using a deionized water from iClean and a microfiber cloth. This is now the following day. It was pretty much done last night, but then I had some issues with my cinema display not powering on. It's a problem I've had before. I tried various different things, resetting the PRAM, resetting the SMC, trying it in different power outlet, even a few polite words up to Steve. Please make it work, because I really, really am not ready to let go of this beloved display. It's such a good display, and there's really just no anti-glare ones like it on design, on resolution, and the removing of reflections. There's a couple of other things that I didn't point out. I've actually got here a USB 3 card reader. This is a Lexar one, and it's got a SD card slot and a compact flash card slot. And I've also got over here, which just tucks away nicely, a Wacom Intuos4. This is the large size. Naturally I'm left-handed, so this would just sit here, and this is great if I'm doing any photo editing or if I just want to use a pen rather than a mouse. But because I'm left-handed with a pen, right-handed with a mouse, I can just go between the two, and I've got a keyboard. And it all works great. I've filled in the sides down here with some sketchbooks, some more external hard drives. This is a Lexar rugged 500GB. A couple of these are actually just pouches from Muji. I think they're about £3 for carrying the other G-Tech drive. And then I've got a various assortment of pens and other things. Maybe over time I'll put some pictures up here. But yeah, so this is it. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. I'll probably be making many more like this, so follow along and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with everything that's happening. Make sure to check out my blog. I'll have a complete roundup of all the equipment that's used here. There's been plenty of videos that I've watched like this and really enjoyed them, so this is just my way of just sharing it back and helping other people out. So yeah, I've now got to go and edit this video, so I guess I'll make a start on that. You're still here? Go home.